just a regular self-supporting tower. It's nothing fancy. A DX tower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was they have that wrong HDX. It kind of tapers as it goes up, so when it gets to the top, it's real skinny. Yeah, this one looks like it's more robust than that one. But that one I had those textile braces, so it's like, yeah, those are not real comfortable to climb, right?
No, they can ruin a set of boots pretty quick. I know it, when I put that 80-footer up in Riverside, the last section, I put a 20-foot mast in it, one antenna on the top, and I put it all up at once because I didn't think I could get my feet to fit in that small section at the top. And it didn't the wind come up when I started doing that last section, and that tower was moving up like 2 feet. But I managed to get that top section on and bolted on and got down.
Yeah, I wouldn't be up there, that's for sure. So I would skip that for sure. Nah, it's something I'd want to do, so hats off to you for doing that, but yeah, I would, just when you want to be up there to experience it.
You got a better copy on him than I do?
I didn't hear anybody else. If you got a copy, I don't.
Was there somebody trying to get in there? Go ahead, DEP or Troy. I copied the battery power there for sure, and the QRT, I'm barely hearing you here. I'm sorry, back. You're just in my noise level, and that's about all. You're just making it over. What I can hear of you is clear. You're very welcome. DE3 or I-20.
Yeah, I think I copied him at the end there. DED for QNR, I believe it was called.
I didn't get the last part of his call. I did when you said it, but he was in my noise level just above it, and that's all.
Yeah, I think he said he was at a state park or something, so it might be, it's the holiday weekend, so maybe he's out camping or something.
Well, I'm assuming he's got a handheld because they said he was a QRT to space him on the battery power.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear that part, so, yeah, maybe. Hey, Ray, I'm gonna call it a night. I just realized what time it was here, so I'm gonna call it a night, and, but hey, thanks for the QSO tonight. It was nice to meet you, and, check out your stuff here on your QRZ page, and it looks like, I guess all you gotta do is add your 991 on there. It's a nice page. I
My page might be a little much fancier than yours, but I'm retired and I had nothing to do that day. So I was playing. And yes, I enjoyed the QSO there. And by the way, that wanted to jump in to say hello. It kind of went a little long.
Yeah, that's fine, no problem. I enjoy being on the radio, so it doesn't bother me a bit. You guys jumping in, you know, it's all good.
Well, 73, you have a very nice night, and we'll chat with you again maybe sometime. Victor Echo 3, Romeo Hotel Yankee, clear.
Yeah, right, anytime. There's no rush to get out here. Usually one guy takes the track and then gets going. And, you know, we're all over the country, so it's not like we're a bunch of neighbors or something. Just guys that get on talk radios and stuff. So yeah, feel free anytime. D3 already twice, 73, this is something right at the lake.
Have a wonderful night.
The venue is in the woods for really noise, but it's an amazing receiver. So, all you this is good to man.
And also I use it for music since I don't really have the oscilloscope, so that's my format oscilloscope. But that's anyone else from Detroit. Yeah, very good. I mean, I'm with you, whatever radio works.
What's is a big deal. That's everything, you know, like up to the
But I'm not going to tell anybody else the thing just to use. Unlike some people that do. But yeah, see if I and if I get a chance to look at a 7100, maybe that'll get that just one of the best. Just one thing. You know, it's like you said, it's a lot of money to throw around sometimes, depending on what's going on. And I have radio for it's not as good and all that stuff. Anyway, probably should stop yammering and get some of the stuff put together tomorrow. You're down to more like an even 5, 8, 5, 9. Something plus 10 plus this earlier, but still sounding fine here. Pete, you will say what I think. Alright, no problem. Just a question, guy, I know the guy's getting a little bit worse. Are you close to the AM radio outlet? I think it's the lift after. It's probably like what, 45 minutes from you, Yeah, that's what where we'll probably go tomorrow, 30, 45 minutes. Oh, okay, much time. That'll be very good. Alright, Adam, let's go over tomorrow and don't spend too much money. And nice to chat with you. And yeah, glad I'm for that's good. And yeah, have a great, I think you guys have a long weekend, just like that. So have a great one and talk to you.
Pasa cambio, Carlos, está por acá. Kilo Foxtrot 3 Bravo Juliet, te copamos la frente.
Thanks, Patrick. starts it up. Let's take them off.
Bueno, pues all ready. Everything all ready.
And hope you don't breathe either.
Yeah, roger that. And we'll send it back today.
Oh, leave, Dad. What's the long train go, folks?
Yeah, Dave, go ahead.
Okay, go knock.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, Whiskey 1 Tango Fox, Whiskey 1 Mike Bravo. You're 4x9, Roger. Okay, thank you. So we can still have some more to do on the audio, Dave. I turned the compression off. Again, at this point, all I know how to do is on or off. Now it's on.
Well, put it on, and put the compression back on the audio.
It's a bit mellowy as it is.
Yeah, okay, it's back on. And, let me see. Okay, so, the other thing too is this, microphone may not be the best.
Ok, excellent. Ouais, tantôt ici, ça tombait à boire de bout, là. Et puis, on a une amie qui prenait le bateau à Québec, elle s'en va en Europe, à Liverpool, tiens. Et puis, alors, elle est partie, c'est une croisière. Et puis, elle nous a texté lorsqu'elle était en face de la maison. Là, fait qu'on est sorti, essayer de voir, mais il mouillait trop, là. On était même pas capable de voir les lumières de bateau, rien. Fait que, c'est comme de l'autre côté de l'île d'Orléans. Ça fait que, en
Was this somebody on frequency that was doing that? I'm trying to pull out the recesses of my memory and see if that was so.
Yeah, I know 60 of it. I also have a 7300 I can run with and a 991 alpha I can push. And the thing is, they only include 2 inputs. So, and you must run the ALC. I had a little chat with my top about that, and I suggested that maybe in their next firmware update that they do away with that. Because you really, if you want multiple radios, you run out of ALC lines. So I had to order 2 wire adapters so I can hook up 4 ALC lines. Anyway, that's what it is. And you can run with any amplifier you want as long as you hook up the ALC line or any radio you want. Put it on a solid kilowatt. It's waiting for a kilowatt. It'll just solid up W for hours and hours and hours and hours. So the only thing I don't like about is the ALC thing. And I thought that they would suggest that in the next firmware update we don't have to run the ALC lines. You don't really need it anyway because you can set your ALC on the read. I mean, that's how these modern radios are. Even the older radios, you could set the ALC on your radio and be done with it. So it's really unnecessary to run with an amplifier unless you don't know how to run an amplifier and you input way too much. Yeah, well, very good. You should learn how to run your radio and your amplifier. All right, this is my last one. Yep.
Сергей 5-2, Василий, Сергей 5-2, Василий, участником. 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 Таня 2 Харитона, спасибо вам, 5-9-7-2-2. Спасибо, Сергей 5-2, Василий. Сергей 5-2, Василий, Сергей 5-2, Василий, участником. Сергей 5-2, Василий, Сергей 5-2, Василий, участником.
Радио Галина 7 Мария.
Радио Галина 7 Мария, спасибо вам, 5-9-7-2-3.
723, подтверждаю, Роман Ольга 48.
Спасибо, Сергей 5-2, Василий. Сергей 5-2, Василий, участником. Сергей 5-2, Василий, Сергей 5-2, Василий, участником. Сергей 5-2, Василий, Сергей 5-2, Василий, участником. Да.
Ольга, Анна, Федор, Волга, 6, Ольга, Анна, 49, Александр, Матвеев. Спасибо, Бен.
Юлиана Боря 6, Ольга, Анна, Федора, спасибо вам, 5-9-7-2-4, ваш РДА?
Я не участник, я
Спасибо, дайте вам, Сергей 5-2, Василий, участником. Сергей 5-2, Василий, 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 Сергей 5-2, Василий, участником. 1 Мария Дротбава, спасибо вам 59725. Спасибо, Сергей 52, Василий Василий. Сергей 5.
Номер 3, браво.
Bravo, Guy. Assez impressionnante pour 25 milliwatts, quoi. 20-25 milliwatts, on peut arriver à faire plusieurs dizaines de kilomètres. C'est quand même pas mal, hein. Surtout sur du 868 MHz, c'est quand même élevé voilà, ça met en la bande du HS. Et donc, le principe de ce truc, c'est ça, hein, c'est de tisser un réseau, mais qui n'est pas en ligne, hein, c'est off-grid, et en fait, le principe de mesh plastique, c'est que chaque petit boîtier, donc reroute, toutes les trames se reroutent les unes des autres, et c'est censé, le routage est sans cesse en train d'être recalculé par le réseau lui-même. C'est transparent, et c'est ce qui fait que c'est très résilient. Si par exemple quelqu'un coupe son nœud, et ben le mesh va trouver un nouveau passage pour faire. Alpha 3, what's Alpha contest? CQ contest, Romeo Alpha 3, what's Alpha contest?
Radio Mike for Hotel Zulu, Radio Mexico for Hotel Zulu, contest. Radio Mike for Hotel Zulu, contest.
Radio Mike for Hotel Zulu. Radio Mike for Hotel Zulu, contest. Роман Марин, 438. Radio United 1 Mexico, for portable contest. Sure. Number 1. A few times the call, please. Zulu 1 Delta X-ray, Roger. Lima Zulu 1 Delta X-ray, Roger. Lima Zulu 1 Delta X-ray, what's my number? Negative. Radio United 1 Mexico, still portable contest. Lima Zulu, come again, we're pretty weak. Okay, Lima Zulu 1, Delta X3, what's my number?
Delta Mexico.
Again?
Delta Mexico.
Okay, Lima Zulu 1, Delta Mexico, okay, we're 59, Victor Oscar 13, Victor Oscar 13, what's my number? Again? Negative, I need the number a few times.
24.
Okay, 24. Thank you very much for your patience. Yeah, very weak. Radio United 1 Mexico portable contest. Радиосим Тамара Дима, дрот Павел, 5-9, Жукольга 13. Спасибо. Radio United 1 Mexico portable contest. Radio Ульяна 1 Мария Дропава, Radio Ульяна 1 Мария Дропава, всем.
Люба, спасибо. 5-9, Жук Радио 3-7. Удачи вам. Роман Антон 3, Ольга Анна 7. Romeo Alpha 3, Ontario, America.
Good, 59%. Good evening.
Thank you very much.
5920, casi rozando los 5920. Con una modulación yo diría que perfecta. Muy bien recibido por aquí, con la provincia de Murcia, concretamente en la ciudad de Tierra. 30. Thank you, 73.
Okay, thank you. QRZ DX, BA Japan, I4F DX and Company. Only DX, please, not Europe. Only DX, not Europe. Thank you, gentlemen. I4F DX, over. CQDX, CQ, CQDX, CQ, CQDX, Italy 4, Foxtrot, Denmark X-Ray, I4F DX, Italy 4, Florida, Denmark X-Ray, calling DX and by. Japan, Germany 3, question mark again. Japan, Germany 3, Victor Whiskey, India, Italy 4, FDX. Good morning, dear friend. My name is Daniel. You're 5-8, all over. Roger, no, I copy 100%. Germany, Japan, Germany 3, Victor Whiskey, Japan, Italy I4 FDS, 5829 picking. 73, just a moment. In the frequency, this is the main station from you. Sotto di tocca, avanti. Vado io. Japan, Germany 3, Victoria Whiskey, India, now Sun, nice to meet you. This is Italy, November 3, Alpha Charlie Queen. Your report is 5-9, sir. Roger, now Sun. Many thanks, beautiful report. You are 5-9 plus 5 in this moment. One moment, now Sun. Go ahead, Filastro.
Roger. Good morning to Japan, Guatemala 3, Victoria, Washington, India. This is Italy, Uniform 2, Sierra Kilo Charlie, Pilastro, North Italy, 5-6-5-7 in North Italy. Roger, now Sun, over. Sierra Kilo Charlie, Sugar, Kilovatto Canada, Sugar, Kilovatto Canada. for the 5 and 9, eh? You are a very gentleman, now, I have a mini QRM and QSB this night. Okay, good morning, now, San. Arigato, sayonara, Japan, Germany 3, Victor, Whiskey, India, Italy, Uniform 2, Sierra, Kilo, Charlie. Sayonara, arigato, now, San, over. One moment now, I have another Italian friend in frequency, standing by one moment now, go ahead Nicola, over.
Oh, questi gli altri.
No, io lo sento male, fate voi.
E non hai delle potenze inutile. Buonasera a tutti, sono Ennio, posso provare a collegarmi?
Dai,
Vai Ennio!
Sì, buonasera a tutti, grazie. Japan Golf 3, Victor Whiskey India. This is Italy Kilo 3 Lima Yankee Papa. Italy Kilo 3 Lima Yankee Papa. My name is Ennio. Echo Nancy Italy Oscar. Ennio. Your report is 10 dB overnight. 10 dB overnight. Result? Beautiful signal in Nord-Est Italy, near Vicenza. Thank you very much, Nelson. Just a moment, please. Grazie a tutti, prego. Sorry? Good morning now. Japan Golf 3, Victor Whiskey India. This is Italy Uniform 3, Romeo India Echo Hotel. Yes, number 3, 1, 2, 3, number 3, now, Romeo is sorry, Sierra, Oscar, Romeo, India, November. And you have 5 and 9 with me now. Back to you, Japan.
Seems like you're having a bit of fun there tonight, Michael. The weather's certainly very nice here.
Tuesday, this is also as well. I'm going to believe it, but you let me see the bomb, but I couldn't believe it. What is this really slow for me today, too. You're doing very well there, Michael. It's nice to talk to you for the first time as well, so.
I was just headed around here for a sign there for, I'm practically on the way out, but I couldn't resist that signal, so go ahead there, Michael.
Yeah, no problem with you there. Great to hear you there. Great to hear you. Super copy from you as well there. Absolutely, 100%. And nice to hear you coming through there. Yeah, it's kind of getting duskish out here now. We're on anchor just off the harbour. And as I said, I'm using Starlink back to the base station there just to activate the base station. I have a backstay antenna as well here. I can work, but I'd be way down on power, on that. I haven't as much power from the bulb transmitter that would have from the home station. 72 AM, thanks for the contact. Very best wishes, and we catch you soon again. 210, Juliet Alpha Golf. Echo India 0, Charlie Lima Side. Cheers, William. Thank you for hearing me, and best wishes. Enjoy the evening.
Those Roger Michael, very nice talking to you for the first time. I look forward to the next one. Enjoy yourself there. You seem to be well set up for the evening. Anyway, and have a nice weekend and all the best. 73, Michael. Cheers, mate.
2 AM, 73.
Okay, the Mike 7 Papa Lima Victor, that call sounds familiar. I think might have worked you before. Echo India 0, Charlie Lima. Yeah, I am off the coast at the moment. I'm running remote from the boat there out at Eddie Spoffin Island. But you're a very good signal here. Not a problem at all. You're spot on frequency as well. Name is Michael, of course. And you are 5'9", Mike 7 Papa Lima Victor, EI 0, Charlie Lima.
Okay, Michael. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I've literally just come on. I have my radio set to 5 knots, so I've just turned it up a little bit now. I can only go to 25, but it was on 5. Yeah, fantastic signal this afternoon, I was evening, I should say, clear skies here in the central UK. 5-9 over here, Michael. Fantastic signal. Just reading the QRZ page now. Yeah, all good. Great signal. And thanks for letting me in. I'm surprised the call 5 knots. Very good.
Directly off the boat backstay antenna, but I'm transmitting back through my base station in Galway County via Starlink there, so there you go. I didn't get your name, but got everything else. And you're absolutely solid, 5.9, 100%. Radio is a 7760, an ACOM linear, 5-element wire beam on 80 meters up at 75 feet. And I'm receiving you on the backstay of the boat's own antenna there, so that's what I'm doing. I can receive you as well directly from the station in Galway, but you're just as strong out here on the backstay. I checked it, as you are at the station on the land there, on the land-based station. So it's amazingly good signal for that sort of power there. I'm running 400 to 500 watts at least there on the remote there. Go ahead.
Yeah, your audio is superb, and the signal is just all the way up there all the time. You know, you're not dropping below 9. Fantastic signal. Yeah, name this way is Paul. Running a Yaesu 950. It's interesting you corrected the guide earlier on 714975.
Okay, but Wales was always smokeless, Kisso?
Yeah, yourself. No, this is off now. This is Aachen or the area of Cologne over.
Yeah, okay. But I'm talking about Wales. Wales itself, when we got coal from Wales, from the UK, our smokeless always come from Wales, from the UK. So apart from the Essie nuts, Everpure Essie, Shavaya Jacoba was German, and that come from Dusseldorf.
Yeah, okay, yourself, yeah. I've been in Everemen, near what other city. The old capital city of Wales. Today the capital city of Wales is Cardiff. But many years ago, it wasn't Cardiff. And even Welsh people don't know, which I had on the radio. So the old capital city, and this was very close by because we were staying a long time there in the hotel. The capital city is nearby is Merthyr Tydfil. And there's a big plant of the NSF, National Smuggler Bureau in Everemen. One of the valleys there, but you know, it's going back to the 80s, 85, 86. I don't know if it's even today, nowadays, something is still there. I remember after I was involved very much in iron making, and I was in Lanwarn, blast furnaces and tugboats, and I've been once in Lanwarn, which is also in Wales, when they blow up a furnace. I have even the video I made with my little camera. It's not a professional video, but you see how a blast furnace, it was about 80 meter high, and the explosion, it fall down. It was just somehow it was sad, but it was something bombastic over.
Yeah, I remember that time. That was under Maggie Thatcher's reign, and that wasn't a good time for the coal industry. And I have to say, still to this day, that resonates right across the UK and Wales and everywhere else. And that was personal, because that was the end of eras and end of life and way of life and everything else. It was incredible. And still to this day, that resonates, Ilian, that you wouldn't believe. And certainly in the coal industry, she didn't do us any favours. And we wonder, she was a very good Prime Minister in some ways, but in the coal industry, she ended life, the ways of life and the industries that had went for hundreds of years. It's incredible. And still to this day, I have to say that this is history. I'm not talking personally here, but a lot of people don't talk about her, and she's still hated as a figure to this day, Kiso.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. MI0 Tango Lima, Germany, Delta Japan 9, United Norway, operated by LX1 UN. I know what you mean exactly. Well, it was not a very nice time, you know, when I was there in Wales, because it was, there'd been a lot of minor strikes, you know, and I remember we had a lot of tools on the plant, because it was a prototype plant and it was producing, but we still had manpower there to make repairs when something failed and so on. And during the night, we had some people coming and stealing the briquettes for heating their house. Imagine, police came. And also remember one day I went to Aberraman or Aberdare. There was Aberraman was it. And I went there to buy some sandwiches. And I didn't have small money, you know. I put a 50-pound note there. The woman in the shop was looking at me. He was saying, I'm sorry, I have to go to the bank to see such a banknote. So I was ashamed. So it was really a bad time. I think it was 86, 87 or something like, yeah, must be like this. It was really very bad at that time. And, well, people were not very lucky. I don't know the situation today in that area, but there were a lot of movements and the minor strikes, and you know what I mean. Yeah, at that time I wasn't a radio amateur, so I made my license early 90s. But yeah, anyhow, I think I didn't have the time to make radio because I was so busy with the job, and afterwards I was living in many countries. So if you see on my website, I have many call signs. Okay, William, great pleasure, but now we will finish. We're going to look what my best half, my wife, is doing, and I think then I will shortly make them the QSY on 2 meter, but 2 meter horizontal. MI0 Tango Lima Golf, DJ9 UN, operated by LX1 UN.
Yeah, okay, Alan, lovely, a pleasure. Half of Wales and the UK coalfields will be listening here tonight, and they're scratching down and listening to some of the names of such what that you said there tonight. And yet, we understand that you set up a batching plant or a plant just to try out an experimental, and when you finish with it, then you dispose of it. But, Liam, you've mentioned such names there tonight. It's incredible. 86, that was the time, and around that was all going on. So, I listened to you, and you got quite a few of those mining towns and mines absolutely incredibly correct in your pronunciation. Incredible. So, Elaine, a lot of the guys will be listening out to you the next time, because you know what? Under the 50-year rule or the 40-year rule, which we're now on, you can talk openly about that, and they'll want to try and pick your brains the next time you're on. So they'll all remember your Delta Juliet 9 United November. But Elaine, listen, seriously, it's been a pleasure, and it's been something else. You asked me about coal. We've been in the coal business here from 1926. My grandfather started this, and we worked with Calwoods and a few other places, but the coal come over in the Kelly boats, and it all come from the UK, and all those mines and Welsh mines and Northumberland and all the different areas, deep mine coal, it went, and then of course problems started, and well, it just all went downhill since then, and that's it. We have cleaner now, and but it was a way of life, and that's the problem. It was a way of life. You just weren't doing away with an industry. It was a way of life. Good night, God bless, Elaine. It's been a pleasure. DJ9 United November, MI0 TLG. Bye-bye, Elaine. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, okay, great pleasure. I could continue now, but I would leave that, William, to the next time, because I have a great, I will not say story,
plant, which gives the initiation to build the production plant in Wales. This plant burnt. But this is for the next time. 33, great pleasure. Good night. Bye-bye.
73, and I'm sure after that nobody wants to talk to me. Good night, God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
QRZ calling CQ40. This is Mike, Italy 0, Tango Lima Golf. Mike, Italy 0, Tango Lima, Germany, calling CQ on 40 listening.
Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima.
There's a couple of stays there and I didn't get any use out there, so try again. This is Mike, Italy 0, Tango Lima Golf.
Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima. Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima.
Yeah, we got that one. Absolutely fantastic. Really rapping in here. Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima, I think it is. This is Mike, Italy 0, Tango Lima Golf. The operator name here is William or Bill. Location here is the city of Lisburn. We're in County Antrim in Northern Ireland. So on the next over I will give you a signal and audio report. Angus Ludo, lovely to get you in there from Belgium this evening. Oscar November 7 Kilo Lima, Mike Italy 0, Tango Lima Golf. How copy?
Mike India 0, Tango Lima Golf, Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima returning. Good evening, William or Bill. What you say, my name is indeed Ludo, and you're quite strong tonight here in Belgium. Your signal report, your 5, 9 plus 10 dB. Sometimes you're peaking over that. A little bit USB, but very loud and very pleasant to listen to your audio. We had a contact in 2016, if my log is correct, also on 40 meter band. And we have found each other again on this band again. So no, it is almost 10 years ago, 9 years. So there you go. We have another contact. I was listening into your last QSO with DJ9UN. No, was it UN? I believe it was. But before that, before you were talking to Cole, you were talking about microphones, and that was quite interesting because I heard the switching and I find this one sounds the best, William. Mike India 0, Tango Lima Golf, Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima.
Yeah. Okay, now, Ludo. Yeah, well, this one sounds good because I have it set up for the radio. The other one I plugged in, but I would need to set it up. It's each microphone that I have, I need to, you just don't plug and play, so you need to set them up. That particular one I put up was the M/1. If I took it down and switched offline and put it to a dummy load, put TX mono on it and done about 10 minutes play with it and then brought it up back up onto the radio, it would sound fantastic. That's the way it is and that's the way it goes. Anyway, Ludy, you're coming back here 5, 9 plus 10, peaking 15 over, sounding real good. And yes, you're right. We spoke on the 2nd of the 7th, 2016, on 7.177. And I think if you check your records, that should be correct. But sounding good here tonight, and that's the main thing. And lovely to get you in there from Belgium. Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima, MI0 TLC. Back to you, Ludo. How copy?
Mike India 0, Tango Lima Golf, Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima Darling. Oh, copy that, William. Yes, indeed, the log is correct. But I don't have my reading glasses on, so I have to stick with my eyes to see what I have done there. But nevertheless, this is correct. So there you go. Yeah, the station is completely changed here since 2016. I have now a Yaesu FD7 110. And the amplifier is still the same. It's Vectronics 1-tube amplifier, a 3-500 Solo Golf iMac tube is in there. Antenna is quite the same, but the microphone is a British microphone, a Soundtronics, a podcast microphone. It's a dynamic one. It's a 600 ohm impedance, and that matches up pretty nicely on this radio. There's nothing in between there, only audio setup and the radio. So I had to fiddle a lot with it because we have parametric equalizer, and if you understand the parametric equalizer, it's quite easy, but if you have to learn it, you have to start from scratch. Then you have to fiddle a lot with the settings to get it right. And I was recording myself on a web NDR with a white receiver opening, white band receiver, so I could hear everything with my headphones on. So this is what I get from it. I'm pretty happy with it. My daughter has young ears, and she said, "Dad, it sounds just like you." So if she says it's okay, then I'm gonna let it stand as its way. So what do you think about it, William? Mike India 0 Tango Lima Golf, Oscar November 7 Kilo Lima.
Yeah, you sound good, Ludo. Don't you worry about that. Everybody beats themselves up over audio. I watch meters, and I do love meters. And I always check out your compression, your ALC, and if you're within your compounds, you will not go wrong. Once you go over that, then you bring in the start, and I don't need to tell you this, you know all this, Ludo. So the beauty about all this, do not overdrive. Once you overdrive, you sound not so good. So there we go, but you sound good, absolutely 100%. There's an 8 into near Belfast. I'm running the FDDX 5000 MP. We've changed the things a lot from the last time we were speaking in 2016. Running a big, large loop antenna. It's 1,265 feet long. It's a quarter of a mile long, Ludo. It's 48 feet in the air. We feed it with a 4-to-1 current balance. 6 coax into a Polestar HF auto tuner. So that's the story. That's what I'm using. I have a lot of other equipment here in the shack tonight, but that's what we're using. The microphone is by Electrovoice. It's an RE 27 November Delta. So that's it. And WX here. Well, we've had great weather. We've had a wonderful, wonderful summer. It's a long time from we've had summer, but the haws and the hedges and the stuff that's going on here with the wildlife tells us that, yeah, we think that there's going to be a real severe bad winter. The last bad winter we had was 2010, and we've had bumper harvest where we are, and Mother Nature always tells you, when that happens, you have a real severe winter. So we're buttoning down. We have a few ponies and horses and such what here, and a wee business that we have. And we have the barns full of straw, hay, haylage, and all sorts, and we're ready for the winter. So whatever throws us at it, hopefully we're able to survive it. Oscar November 7 Kilo Lima, Mike India 0 Tango Lima Golf.
Mike India 0 Tango Lima Golf, Oscar November 7 Kilo Lima turning. Well, William, is that true with the winter? I hope we get some too, because I'm not quite fond of hot weather. I'm more the northern guy. I like the 20 degrees. That's okay, but we had 34, 36 degrees. Then I'm counted out like a boxer runner that is counted 10 times and down and he's out. That's what I feel like then with 34 degrees. 20, it's now 20 degrees and I feel good again. I go walking with my dogs, a whole long walk every day, so good for my legs. I'm 62 and I'm retired, but I had some real issues with my health. But enough of that. It's all gone now and I'm working on it. You are working with a loop antenna. Fond of it, the antenna. I work with a loop antenna, delta loop, a vertical polarized delta loop antenna from 40 to 10 meters, and I feed it with a 1.2.5 balance. So yeah, it came with the package. It came with the kit, so I've prepared it. And today I was tweaking the SWR with making it a little bit shorter, so I get the better SWR on the higher band. So, but your Luke is doing a fantastic job. Your last album, William, you won 9 plus 20 dB. Very pleasant to listen to. Mike India 0, Tango Lima Golf, Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima.
Yeah, okay, that. Yeah, 100% Ludo. You said that you're now retired. What is your retirement age in Belgium, Kiso?
Well, they just bring it up to 67, but I was early started in the airport, so I had the privilege to go early, William.
Yeah, you're very lucky because they've brought it up here to 67 also, and the government is now talking about stealing another 3 years of us, Kiso.
Well, that's completely mad. If you have to work to 70, well, I think 60 to 70% of the people won't reach that age.
Yeah, it is mad. Yeah, I don't know what's going on at the moment in this world. It is crazy, Ludo. It is crazy. You know, I thought by the time I was 60, I would be thinking about rolling down, and now I'm talking about 2 more years, and then they're talking about another 3 years. And you know, it shows you what sort of blooming mess this world is in. It's mad, absolute mad. We paid into a situation, and we paid a lot of money. And you know, there's only one way of saying this, Ludo. They're stealing our money. Can you understand that, Yuso?
I totally agree with you, William. I totally agree with you. Well, we have to pay for the war, you know, and I don't like war. I was in the Air Force. I have seen what weapons can do, and I don't like it. So there you go. I think they better talk for peace. They better talk for peace. That's my opinion. But nevertheless, they don't listen to the people. They're just stealing your life and your money. Not only your money, William. They're stealing 7 years of your life. Can you imagine what you can do in 7 years when you're on pension, William?
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. It's mad. It's mad. Yeah, we wonder. We've had a lot of troubles in this country here in Northern Ireland down through the years, and we've had issues, but we have come out of it, and now all of a sudden they want to steal our pensions, and what we've paid in for all these years is mental. Absolutely mental. Okay, Ludo, I'm going to wait you 7-3. Just going to take a couple more calls. Lovely to get you in there from Belgium there tonight. I'll wish you good night. God bless. 7-3. Have a wonderful weekend, and let's hope we talk again real soon. Oscar, November 7, Kilo Lima, MI0TLG, back to first final.
Mike India 0, Tango Lima Golf, Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima turning. All copy that, William. Yeah, fine signal you have. 9 plus 20, very fine signal. Yeah, it was a nice talk to you again. So hopefully it won't last for another 9 years. Probably not. I'm quite active lately, more in the evening hours, and I think you also in the evening hours. I heard you were not that active in week times because you still have your business to run, but nevertheless, we will find together again, William, and we talk some more. Mike India 0, Tango Lima Golf, 73, and thank you for the nice contact from Oscar November 7, Kilo Lima. Have a nice weekend, William.
73, and you never know, when we're all 90, you could still be talking to you and me. I was still running my business because my government will keep changing the goalposts, and I'll still be working, Ludo. Good night, God bless, bye-bye.
Okay, hopefully you can do it. Bye-bye.
Maggie Thatcher. Right, the call sign for Maggie there. Go ahead. Code India.
Bring back Maggie, that's what we want.
Yeah, no, but give us your call sign.
Oscar Hotel 6, Victor Delta Alpha.
No, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, QRZ calling CQ. This is Mike, Italy 0, Tango Lima Golf, calling CQ on 40. Oscar November 8, Echo India, over.
Oscar November.
Yeah, that's a call sign from the island of Ireland. I know we've talked before, but I'll have to get you up here. The oldies catching up regardless, and even though the government says I can work to near do know that voice. I apologise. John, lovely to get you in there this evening. Operator name here is Bill or William. Location, City of Lisburn in County Antrim. But I do detect an early song there. Oscar November 8 Echo India MI 0 TLG.
Yeah, Roger. Very good evening to you, Bill, and thank you very much for picking me up. Mike India 0 Tango Lima Golf. Oscar November 8 Echo India. At the moment you're 15 over, but at one stage you went up to 20 over 9. So nice to hear you, and well, I can see you were talking about the cold winter. That'll be good for the business that you're in, Bill, over?
Yeah, it will, John, if it comes. And I'm only running out on Mother Nature. And, you know, we've had an incredible summer here, John. It has been good. It's been a mixed bag. You know, if you make hay or you make straw, yeah, you had sunshine, you had a wee bit of rain to keep things rolling up, and then you had more sun. It's what you call a real good summer. There's a lot of mixed bag of everything, but I'm going by what we have and what I'm watching with Mother Nature. And the last time we had a bad winter was 2010, and it was bad. It was cold. And I do think, I may be wrong, but watching everything that's going on around, you know, my old mince pies there, that we could be in for a colder winter. Put it that way, John. Hear so?
Yeah, Roger on that. Well, you know, no harm, because a good cold winter kills a lot of the vermin. And I remember that winter of 2010, and we went over to Echo India. The kiddies were quite young at the time. They're now all grown up. But we went over, and yeah, it was quite cold, and it was amazing to see, you know, snow in Dublin. So that's the situation there. Bill, just to tell you, the radio is a Hermes Light. Power at the moment is probably about 450 watts, and the antenna is a double bazooka, and the apex is about 11 meters above the ground. One leg is flatline, it goes out to a tree, and the other one drops down to about 4 meters above the ground. So that's the station on this side, Bill, over.
Yep. John, I have to tell you that you're coming in here 5.9 plus 15. Your audio is absolutely 100%. Don't touch nothing cracking. That Hermes Light. I talked about that earlier on, Hermes Light. That's one of the SDRs that I popped in. They sound good. And I looked into them, but John, I love twiddling knobs and all that stuff. I don't know what way I sound to you tonight, but if I sound as good as you are, that's good to me. You sound 100%, and I mean that truthfully. You're double bazooka. What a good antenna. Absolutely. I've had those in the past. Do they work? Absolutely they work. And absolutely going here tonight. You know what I'm using? I'm running this big loop antenna. I'm running a kilowatt here tonight, and I'm running it from the FTETX 5000. And we were talking about the weather. Yeah, the weather has been fantastic summer. It's been bits and pieces of this, not the other, but it's been good. We're all into ponies and horses and that, John. And the whole family was down there, a good bit of them was down there last weekend in Dublin too, Falls Bridge. And they had a fantastic time down there at the Dublin Horse Show. And mad. They all tried to get it going here last night and watch the Agacan. That's the one on Sunday. They had to leave. The girl that my wife was down with hadn't been well the last couple of years, and she had got chemo and such like. And on the Sunday night, the thing they went and they loved watching, she took not well and had to come home early. So we're trying to look it up last night on the digital and all this stuff, and they watched a bit of it. And but we couldn't get it up on. It was all this stuff now is an RTE. What is they call it? It's I can't remember. It's digital stuff. way beyond me. The younger generation come in last night and they tried to get it up. They could do it through their phone, but they couldn't do it through the TV. And when they watched, they said that you needed a Samsung TV and all this stuff, and LG. Oh, you know, you're just trying to watch a playback of something happened last Sunday, and they make it very difficult, even in these days where everything is supposed to be simple. John, yeah, you could go mad. Oscar November 8, Echo India, MI0TLT. Good evening.
Yeah, Roger. Well, first of all, I hope that lady improves. I'm sorry to hear about that. And happy memories of Eddie Macken. I wonder if you'll remember Eddie Macken. And I remember my uncle and auntie who lived in Castleknock. They had horses, and they loved the horse show as well. So I think if you want to watch it on the RT player, I'm surprised that you can't hear it and see it on your on the computer. But maybe it's something like geo-blocked. But well, of course, if you had, you want to talk to the young people about it, a VPN, then you could watch it. So that VPN, it just gives the person who's sending out that stream the impression you're in Echo India itself. But I'm surprised it's not going to Northern Ireland. Anyway, that's about it, Bill. I did hear other stations calling you. So listen, the next time I hear you, maybe it'll be on 80 meters, and we can pick it up. So I wish you a pleasant evening. It was a cool day today. It was up to about 18 degrees. But I see I just got a message in. It's going to get warmer again, but no problem. We deal with what we get. So put it back to you, Bill, for a final. You're sounding great, and just one final thing. If you wanted a radio with meters, on this radio, if you want, you could have probably about 30 or 40 meters. But I just keep it simple. I'm just looking at it now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 meters in situ. But you can turn them on or turn them off, whatever you like. So back she goes to your final, but you're sounding great, and I wish you a pleasant evening in the outskirts of Lisburn. So Mike India 0 Tango Lima Golf, Oscar November 8 Echo India. Bye bye from Belgium, Bill. Over.
Yeah, a wee quick one, John, just before you go. Yeah, RT player. Yes, they got that up, but they didn't know how to do it. It was very confusing. They couldn't. They tried everything to get that RT player on our own computer. My wife could get it, but we had a Samsung TV, which they said we would be able to do that. We tried everything and we couldn't bring that in from the computer, unfortunately. Eddie Macken, John, that's an interesting one. My wife's cousin was working, tried to set up film crews there. Eddie Macken, I just wonder if you know, but I remember a few years ago, he retired to Canada, and they tried to do an interview with him, and they tried to get a few pounds together for to go in and get a film crew, and they actually had got in and they actually made the film. John, here's the story. My wife's cousin was involved in that. They got in with the film crew. He was somewhere involved in that, and they actually got in and talked to Eddie Macken, and Eddie Macken had retired into Canada. I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not. And they'd done an interview with him, but they're trying to raise money to go some way to sell it to the like of RTE or BBC, an in-depth interview with him and down through his life. It never materialized, and but I did see the actual film that they'd made of him, interviewed him and all, when I was in Canada. Are you aware of that, John Cuso?
Negative, no, and good to hear that he's still in the land of the living, over.
Yeah, but listen, the problem is, that could have been maybe 12 years ago, Cuso.
Yeah, Roger, I wasn't aware of that, but I presume he's, well, who knows? Is he still with us, over?
I'm not sure, I'll have to be truthful. But what I can say was he had retired and he was not in Ireland, he was in Canada at that stage, you so?
Yeah, Roger, well, anyway, no matter what, like I'm here in Belgium and, there's Irish people all over the world, but no, he was a great hero of mine, over.
He was a good lad. He knew all about horses, Eddie Macken. Yeah. Look, John, you're showing your age just like me. The younger generation now probably wouldn't know. That's history. You can do nothing about that. And many a time when I switch around, you think about, I'm talking about things that happened years ago. The younger generation sit and listen, and I think they know all about it. They don't. They haven't a clue. John, good night, God bless. Have a good one. It's been an absolute pleasure. Oscar November 8 Echo India MI 0TLG.
Yeah, Roger, on that, Bill, but just one final thing. I've just had a look on Wikipedia, and I've got good news for you. One, he's still with us. Two, he's 75. And of course, three, he's originally from Granard, where there used to be a great radio operator from Granard, and that was EIH Henry, Echo India 8 Hotel Pan, over.
Yeah, does it say where he's retired? Where's he living?
I don't see that now. It says there's quite a bit about it, but anyway, if you have a look, if you just give in his name, you'll find all about it. I'm just going through it now. But there's lots of the documentary, and they're talking about the documentary. Yeah, I think one of them was called Eddie Macken and Boomerang, over.
Yeah, I know, yeah, Boomerang. Listen, you could, yeah, Harvey Smith and all the rest of David Broom and Eddie Macken. Yeah, that was the era, and they always talked about build a wall, get it up higher. There was a big wall, put it up higher, you know?
Yeah, Roger, I remember that anyway, but yeah, I was in there a few times. I'm still just going through it, and of course they also, they used to come over to not so far away from me, Bill Macken, over.
Yeah, well, but I tell you one thing, John, you see down there at Balls Bridge, my wife, there's years and years, her friends and all that, they go to, it's the Royal Court Hotel, and in Dunleary, I think that's where it is, and they get the wee dart right round to Balls Bridge each year. They have a wonderful time down there, and they spend a whole weekend to there, and they wait till the last horse was over the last fence, you know?
Yeah, Roger, well that's the Royal Marine Hotel in Dunleary, and I grew up some of my life about a mile away from there, over.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I've been down there. Quite a few famous people like Lauren Hardy and Michael Collins and a few other guys used to stay down there, you know?
Yeah, Roger, yeah. I've seen the photos, and one I've just been reading through. Yeah, he moved to Canada in the early 2000s, over.
Yeah, that's the time I was going over there. Yeah, the last time I was over there was 2007, I think it's 2008. I've had health problems, John, and I can't travel long haul anymore. I used to go every year. My wife has family, and we have had friends over there, right over on the west coast, and a lot of them would be, some of them would love to be, and still is, involved in the film industry, and that's how I come about to know that. And I was over there to Vancouver and Vancouver Island, and I was approached, and at one stage they approached me for to put some money up because I was a businessman, but I didn't want to get involved in that because the particular person that was involved in it, he was a dreamer, you know? What do you think?
Yeah, well, there's nothing worse than the Walter Mitty type person in business. Okay. Okay, I'll just say one more thing about, I've been over to Vancouver, and I've been over to Vancouver Island, which is lovely. But I wonder, have you ever been up to the top, to Port Hardy, over?
Negative. Port Hardy, yeah, that's where you go into if you're heading for the ice field and such what. No, I haven't been. Always intended to go there, but love to went over to the ice fields, going right down there for a few days. But right into where you get all the icebergs and all sorts. But no, my health didn't hold out for that. I had intended, me and my friend had intended to go over there and to do that. What could I say? We were in Stanley Park, and we went over to Vancouver, through the Gulf Islands, into is it Tawasin Ferry we went over on, and right over into Victoria. We had the Empress Hotel, the Inner Harbour, Dallas Road, Tofino, and right up through Vancouver. And it's an incredible place. John, it's heaven on earth, you know?
Yeah, it certainly is. And just one final thing. You know, we could talk for the night, but just one final, if I may. So I got the ferry to from Port Hardy, and then got over to back onto the mainland. Went to a place called Kamloops, and from Kamloops, I hitched all the way to Anchorage, over.
Oh, wow. Anchorage, that's down, that's incredible. That's, I think, now, maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe I'm totally wrong on this. Anchorage, you're heading right out to where them guys that were that general direction there, maybe I'm wrong on this. Russian guy and the American president was Anchorage, and right down that general direction. Now let me think. There's something else that comes into my head here. Can I remember? Anyway, yes, Butchert Gardens. Did you ever go to Butchert Gardens, John?
Yeah, where's that, over?
That's in Vancouver Island, the famous Butchert Gardens.
Negative, no, I didn't get to there, but you can't do everything, over.
There used to be a ferry went out of Vancouver Island. What does it call it? The Cohort. It went from Victoria every morning right over to Seattle. Hear so?
Yeah, Roger, I don't know if you ever heard the joke, I went to Seattle, but she wasn't there, over.
Yeah. You know what? The friend that I stayed with, John, he had a place on Dallas Road, and we used to sit at his apartment, and the wee planes, the seaplanes, flew in and touched down and took off. And he called it the Summer Symphony. They had a certain tone or music to it, and they had a drone. The wee planes, you know, the wee seaplanes, Kiddo?
Yeah, Roger, yeah, well, of course, they have them in Shannon as well, over.
Yeah, but they do have, probably, yeah. But right down on that Vancouver, see, right on the Inner Harbour, they would have flew down there and touched off. They were going every minute of the day, so?
Yeah, I can well believe it, but you've got lots of great, happy memories, over.
Yeah. John, it's incredible, no doubt about that. I always would have loved to live there. They're friendly people, and what can I say? It was just lovely. Sometimes I would have said it was maybe false, but they were lovely people. They were lovely, lovely people. Would you hear this? I'll tell you this, John, okay? There was a place called Thrifty's. It was down in Vancouver Island. It's just like Tesco, Sainsbury's, Thrifty's. And the next thing was the people that I was staying with, we went down and done our shopping, and Paul says to me, here's the butcher who looks after me every morning, and he's a real nice guy, and we had beautiful steaks and brought them up and we ate them and all the rest of it. And I looked up Thrifties and I said, if you had a good experience in Thrifties, feel free to put a wee thing in. So when I went home to Northern Ireland, I looked up Thrifties, and I said I had a great experience, and I mentioned the guy on the butcher counter. I think it was Alfie or something. I said, Alfie looked after me. I'm from Northern Ireland. My name is William, and I will tell all my friends I had a great experience in Thrifties, and Alfie was a great butcher, really looked after me, blah, blah, blah. That was fine. About 3 weeks later, my friend, I'm going back a few years, John, my friend Paul rang me one night. He says, did you send a thing called an email? I said, yes. He says there's hell to play over in Thrifties this morning. And I says, what? He said, I went down this morning, and he says, everybody was saying to me, did you see what Alfie got? And Paul says, no, I don't know. What are you talking about? He says, we got an email from Ireland, and he said, they said Alfie actually served a guy from Ireland, and he mentioned Alfie. He said he was a great guy, great butcher, and Thrifties is 100%. And he says, there's a thing called a WA badge on the notice board. Alfie got a WA badge. And he says, in about 10 years, nobody had ever got a WA badge, but Alfie got one. What do you think of that, John? And I was the instigator of that.
Yeah, Roger, yeah, that sounds amazing. I think, is it the name of that place? I'm just looking at it, possibly. Is it called Thrifty Foods, over?
Yeah, Thrifty Foods. I think it's in St. James's Bay, yes, sir?
Yeah, I can see it. I've just clicked on it now, over.
Yeah, incredible. Now, he won't be there today. That's gone back a long time ago, but that was when that was all coming in, and everybody was coming up to Alfie and saying, Alfie, oh gee, you got a WA badge. I keep our ones going back here in Ireland, and I told Jill about that, my wife, and different ones, and whenever they do something special, I keep them going. I said, oh, do you want a WA badge, excuse me?
Yeah, Roger. Well, hopefully Alfie maybe got an extra few shillings in his pay packet, over.
Yeah, but it was a big thing. This WA badge, I laughed at it. I thought it was funny, John, but, over there in Canada, it was a big thing. Nobody ever got a WA badge, but that was a new thing. That was something else, and that's the way it is. But, yeah, as you say, great memories, John. Here's them.
Yeah, Roger, and here's another thing. I've just clicked on the website of Thrifty Foods, and I don't know about Northern Ireland, but from Belgium, access denied, over.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it was one of the loveliest places that you could get food, and you know what, the fresh food, the day before, it was probably in California, all brought into Thrifties, and you know what, not like Northern Ireland, but most of that stuff had a shelf life that you wouldn't believe. It's mad, John, too, but I remember one year I went over, I spent 2 weeks with my cousins, or Gil's cousins, and there was milk in the fridge, and I think it's come in from California, and I looked at the date when I was leaving. I've been there for 2 weeks, and I said, that needs to be threw out. And I said, that's 2 weeks old. Oh, no, we get it. He says, why? I said, well, that's all preservatives. That will keep. But, John, that can't be healthy, so.
Yeah, well, that's the way the milk here, we only buy long life. So it can, I don't know, I haven't looked at the recent date, but you can get 3 months or maybe 6 months of it. But I won't repeat what you said, but I think the stuff coming from the south, I think that's not so welcome anymore, over.
I'm not picking up what I don't understand what you're talking about, John. Yourself?
Yeah, Roger, okay, let's say south of Vancouver, over.
Still not with you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, well, there's been a change in the import-export. How does that get you, over?
Oh, okay, that, yeah. No, sorry, yes. That's going back a long time, yeah. That's, that's all mad. And, you know, when you hear that, John, and I'm going back now 15, 20 years ago. 15 years ago, okay? And I remember heading up to Tofino, you know where Tofino was going right up. We went right up the island. And there was a guy who drove us up there. And the first time I was ever in Vancouver, in Canada, in Vancouver. And I drove up, and I remember for miles and miles, I seen forests. And there was big fences. And there was all this machinery. And it was rusted. And it was just sitting. And it went for miles and miles and miles. There was nobody about. Everywhere was shut. Remember saying to Paul, remember saying the other guy was there, I said, what is that? Oh, it's the logging. And they said, I said, well, are they shut today? And they said, oh no, they're not shut. Now, I'm going back 20 years ago, John, at least, right? And they said, no, America has put 25%, what's the call, the hell your man's putting on there at the moment, 25% basically tax. And it says overnight, that industry was just white, just like that, miles and miles, just shut, end of story. And what they used to do, they used to drop the logs, and they would have floated them from from Canada into America. And that industry overnight, because of tariffs, that was, 25% tariffs was put on overnight, and it just wiped that industry out. That was 25 years ago, ever before Trump was ever telling. But, yeah, John, that is a big impact on everybody, on every single business. You know, and I remember back then, I thought to myself, are these guys and all this? No, that won't be open again. All sitting rusting, okay, so?
Yeah, Roger, well, maybe there's going to be changes. But anyway, that's a subject that we should meet for a, I don't know what your tipple is. Is it a cup of coffee? Is it a cup of tea? Or something stronger? But anyway, yeah, you're sounding great, and the good thing is you've got lots of happy memories. And I was lucky. I did lots of things when I was young, over.
Yeah, well, I would like to do a lot of more things. I done things like fishing and shooting and all that sort of stuff. And you know, John, I have a lot of regrets. I done a lot of pigeon shooting and pheasant shooting, and I have stuff sitting here tonight, and I'm just going to hand them on. See, when you get older, you can't be bothered with fishing. See, my eyesight now, obviously can't. I used to do sea fishing and also freshwater fishing and flies and all that sort of stuff. But my eyes, I couldn't see. Used to love all that, and it was good. And when I was at it was brilliant. See, now I wouldn't be interested at all. You know, when you get older, you do change. I don't care what anybody says, you do change. And I have no interest in anything. Obviously, for taking the life of a bird of any description, I wouldn't. You know what I do now, John? Isn't it incredible? I feed them. The blooming things that I used to maybe take a crack at, I now feed them and encourage them in and love them. My friend John in Canada, I used to go on, and he used to work in social work. And I stayed with him for a week or so when I was in Canada. And he used to do this thing, he said, feed my sheep. I said, Paul, what do you mean? He says, you feed the people. He says, when I die, he says, when I meet them on above, what did you do, sir? He says, I fed my sheep. And you know what Paul used to do every morning, John? We used to walk down the main drag into Vancouver Island, right down into the main street. Paul used to disappear for about maybe 20 minutes into the kitchen. This is true. And when we walked down into the main drag, those guys sitting in the street, they had nothing. Why I knew Paul was genuine, they used to say, hi, Paul. And Paul said, he would have said, what sort of a day have you having? And they would have said, Paul, not so good. And Paul used to put his hand in his pocket and he pulled out tin foil and opened it up and give them something to eat. And Paul used to say, feed my sheep. He fed them. He fed anybody the whole way down. They all knew him. And why I knew he was genuine, because they all knew his name and they knew he fed. And I used to say, Paul, these guys maybe, need. He said, no, if you give them money, they'll go to the hot license, just buy, give them food, they'll have some. They all knew him. Feed my sheep, John. Cheers up.
Yeah, Roger, well, he sounded like a very good person. So hopefully when he, I don't know, has he met his maker yet, but regardless, he'll have a space up above. But MI0TLG ON80I, we'll have to talk in the winter time on 80, Bill, over.
Yeah, okay, that's John. And yes, Paul was fast. He was a gentleman, and he will be up there. He'll be chatting away, he'll be telling them what all to do. And yes, on 80, I'll be on a few of the places there on a Saturday night. I'll also be on different places. Listen, John, I know you probably need to go there, but listen, it's been a pleasure. I will need to disappear here very soon myself, but I've enjoyed the chat there tonight, and also Vancouver and Canada and all the different places. John, can I tell you, the only place I never was Toronto. I was always over in the West Coast. Were you ever in Toronto? Where all that stuff goes on, yes, so?
Yes, I was in Ottawa and Montreal and all those places. But I have one question back to, about Canada. And did you ever make it to Banff, over?
Negative. No. Now, you're talking about skiing part of the country there. I have a good friend, Rodney. He used to fly out there every year. He was into skiing. He went to Banff, and he knew all those places like the back of his hand. But no, that's in around that region. And but he used to go to Banff. Never went to Banff. But that's not so far from where I was there. And really, but that's skiing territory. Were you over there, John, yourself? Yes, so?
Negative. No, I didn't want to get into the skiing because I had even though I was quite young, I think I was, 20 or 21 at the time, but I knew, and this was a 2-year traveling around the world experience. I knew that if I, for example, broke my leg because of the skiing, that would kind of, as we would say and you would say, that would banjax the trip, over.
It sure would, John. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah. It's amazing, John. I think maybe their population is now up to 40 million. Whenever I was over there, I think it was about 32 million. But it's the second biggest country in the world. And yet all the very little of a population, so.
Yeah, Roger, well, most of them are on the east coast or on the west coast, but I think, I have a nephew who lives on the west coast. I think the west coast for the weather is possibly better. It can get, this gets quite cold, especially on the east coast. And then, of course, in the summer it becomes very humid. But it is a very nice place and very happy memories. Well, just one final Bill. Do you ever transmit on the Sligo repeater? Over.
I don't know if I ever did or not. This thing up here, very. I think I have in the past. That's to be truthful. Tell you what, John. A few years ago, we used to have a great thing going here, and I can't remember. There was a guy called Tony, worked the IRDS. I ended up with my when I done my exam. I went to Comrade offices down in Dublin, and I ended up my Irish call sign is Echo India 4 Hotel Papa Bravo, and then I got the MI's hotels here. So that's just the way that is. I'm telling you. So I went and done it down in the Comrade offices. They still do it down there, and I think they do a few other places as well, right across Ireland. What was the original question you asked me? What was the question you asked me there again? Sorry, John.
Yeah, about the Sligo repeater. Had you ever made any contact, or are you ever on the Southern Irish repeater group? Over.
Yeah, look, I can access a lot of this down here where I am. I'm about 230 feet above sea level, and the antenna up quite a bit. It's a Dusk repeater, and it's one we can open it just like that, and quite a few other ones. What else can we say? I'll tell you what I do have here, John. Right, on a Sunday night, I can swing. I have a big beam here. It's 33-foot boom. It's vertical, horizontal. I go.